show of hands, anybody that has no idea who I am, never heard me talk before, oh, good gracious, we're going to be in for something. They have no idea. Let me tell you what. Well, I have got through a lot in my life because of my laughter. God has given me a contagious laughter, and people have told me you need to spread it like a cold. So that's what I'm about to do. So y'all don't get out your hand sanitizer like that. That ain't necessary. And if you ain't laughing by the time the end of this, please, God bless you. You know, you need to. Let me tell you something. I have found out there is only one place they ain't going to be laughing. It's hell. And I've made preparations not to be there.
Hallelujah.
And if you haven't tonight, you can before it's too late. You know, I pray that you give God your life before it's too late.
Yes.
But, you know, when I was in school, you know, the teacher would say, what you want to be when you grow up. And you heard the standard answers, you know, a teacher, a doctor, a lawyer, a preacher. Some people wanted to preach. Well, she asked me, and I said, I wanted to be Lulu Roman. Anybody ever watch See How? Oh, I grew up on that show. I tell you what, we just don't have good, clean comedy like that no more. And I wanted to be Lulu for one simple fact. I wanted to sit on the end of the couch. It just looked like an easy job. Every Saturday night, she sat on the end of the couch. You know, and then you'd have old Grandpa Jones on there, bless his heart. Y'all, he had this What's for Supper segment. I'm glad to be in Alabama where I can talk normal. When I go up north, they want to deduct 100 IQ points for some reason when I talk. I mean, I just don't get it. But old Grandpa Jones, he'd be over there like he was awash in that window. You know, there wouldn't even be no glass in it. I'm hearing this material for the first time myself, so cut me some slack on that. I get this. Maybe I should put my depends on. Anyway, it takes talent to make somebody pee in their pants. But they say I'm good at that. But he'd have him a little you know, poem, and they'd say, what's for supper, Grandpa? And they'd say, turnip greens and collard greens and mashed taters covered in gravy. And when we eat all of this, we're going to be feeling pretty lazy. And I ain't found me a man yet. I'm still single. I'm waiting on the right one, but it's on my bucket list. Speaking of greens, I won't. It is. Anybody got a bucket list to find them a man, or am I the only one?
No, I got
Well, anyway, if I want to find me a man with the last name Green, if I do that, see, I can have me 3 youngins. And I can name them Turnip Green, Collard Green, and Mustard Green. Now, wouldn't that be a hoot? My poor old husband must be so messed up. He'd be thinking I'm feeding him the same thing every night when I'm calling him to the table. I'd be like, hey, Collard, Mustard, Turnip. She's cooking that again? So then I'd have to add in a 4th child. I guess I'd name him Ham Hock. But I love my family. Some of my family's here tonight.
Praise God.
My mama, my grandmother, I call her Momo. My great aunt, her name's Imogene, but we call her Aunt Emmer because we're from the South. And let me tell you, we have been through some more stuff in my 28 years of living. Oh, Momo and Aunt Emmer. Let me tell you, you know, we know how to cook and we know how to eat. And we'll get full and we'll go out there on them porch, and then, well, we can't afford Cracker Barrel rockers, so they're just imitation ones. But we'll be rocking in them rockers, you know. And we'll say, whew, we're so full, we're full as a tick, we can't eat another bite. And Aunt Emmer, she'll get the rocking and she'll go, ooh, Lordy. And then Momo will get the rocking and she'll go, ooh, Lordy, Lordy. So you know I got to join in. So I get the rocking and I go, ooh, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. And before you know it, we got choruses of Lordies going on the porch. By this time, Mama, she done finished cleaning up all them there dishes, and she'll come back out and she'll be like, y'all want some pie? Yeah, I think I do. I'm so full I can't even eat a tick. That cracked me up. I'm so full as a tick I can't eat nothing else. But we want some pie. And one day I went down there, and you know, I used to listen to a comedian, and they say, this is about my family, and I'm not making it up. And I'd be like, yeah, right, no, you can't make it up. So I went down there one day, and Aunt Emmer, I said, what's wrong? And she was kind of flustered. She said, well, I like to listen to Joyce Meyer, but for the last few days, I ain't been able to understand a word she's been saying. She's like she's just speaking in an unknown tongue. Well, I looked at the corner of the TV and I lost it. I said, Aunt Emery, you had it on the Hispanic channel. I don't care who you are, it's funny right there. If you can't laugh at that, you just can't laugh, I tell you. But one day, one more, and then I'll leave my poor old family alone. I'm telling you, I love them. But we had a funeral one time at the church we was going to, and it was on a Wednesday night, and we couldn't have church that night because we had to feed the family, you know. And I went ahead and left. And so Aunt Emma and Momo, they was walking across the parking lot, and Aunt Emma said she saw two men standing at a distance at the church sign, and she said, she hollered, ain't gonna be no church here tonight. She said they didn't say a word. She said she walked on over here a little bit. She said, hey, I said there ain't gonna be no church here tonight. We had a funeral and we had to call it off.
Oh, no.
She got on up there and she said, Lord have mercy, that ain't no me, and that's the who's to hold up the church sign.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, Lord have mercy. But we say strange things in the South. We really do say strange things in the South. You know, can I dance? Well, I used to could. I don't know how you spell it, but it works. But anyway, Mama, she used to say funny things like, her and Daddy, I'm going to beat the tar out of you. Well, they beat enough tar out of me, couldn't pay the state highway. I mean, you know, or we must have been farmers because they'd say, I'm going to beat you plow. You know, I just didn't get that. But I get my Bible stories mixed up, and that's what I love. We'll sit around the dinner table, and they laugh at me because I'm a brilliant brunette with many blonde moments. I mean, when I teach children's church, all I do is play kickball and Red Rover with them. Because they're going to go home and have their stories all mixed up, and it's going to come back on me. But we went over to the wild animal safari one day over here in Georgia. And for those that ain't been there, it's a really neat experience. You ride through on this little old van, and I mean, I had a zebra right here in my face, you know, it was just cool. Well, anyway, I looked at that group, and I said, well, my word, it looks like we got on Noah's Ark. Where's Moses? Well, they lost it. They like to just literally died laughing because it was a senior adult group, so I'm just kidding. But anyway, I said, well, he's probably somewhere on top of Mount Sinai with the ark. No, he would have been on Mount Sinai with the Ten Commandments. The ark was on top of, I think, Mount Ararat. But anyway, I love, though, how people let you know when you've got a haircut and you didn't know you had a haircut. I had a haircut a few weeks ago, you know, and I'm on Facebook, so everybody knows my business. You know, it's just a public diary. You used to didn't want nobody to know your business. Now you want to know when you're eating, when you're going to bed, you know. I mean, it's just pitiful. But anyway, I put my little picture up there and I said, woo, I like my new haircut. I want to see how many likes it was going to get. But anyway, I got to church on Sunday and somebody walked up. She's like, hey, did you get a haircut? Or did you know you got a haircut? And I'm like, no, I know I got a haircut. That was Samson who didn't know he got a haircut.
You ain't right.
Oh my goodness. And then the next week I went to the beauty parlor.
You are
and
crazy.
this woman, she was looking in the mirror and she said, my hair is the source of my strength and vitality. I said, well, what are you, a female Samson?
You are crazy.
She didn't laugh because apparently she don't know her Bible stories either. But anyway, I love to laugh. I mean, it just makes me feel good. You know, you can be carrying the heaviest burden in the world.
That's
and then
right.
you just laugh and all of a sudden you feel light as a feather. But before I go into my testimony, I'd like to sing y'all a little song. It's going to be good. Let me go up here and get my guitar, and no, I don't play the guitar, it's just for decoration purposes only. I don't know, it's kind of like a prop. I can kind of strum it, but, you know. But I took this song, there was a guy named, hold on, let's turn on. There's a guy named Aaron Wilbur, and he travels with Bill Gaither. Hold on just a second.
Oh, Lord.
Thank you. Thank you,
Can't be a who.
assistant. This is my assistant, Annette. We're going to go on the road. It's just going to be the next big hit on iTunes, I'm telling you. 1 million downloads by sunset. Wait till sunset, so I guess that'll be tomorrow. But anyway, Aaron Wilbur, he's from Alabama, and he wrote a little song called If My Nose Was Running Money, I'd Blow It All on You. Well, I wanted to rewrite it because I just don't want to take somebody else's song. It just ain't right. So I just, my mama likes to watch all them judge shows, Judge Judy, and I was watching it. And, people sue over bunion and on their toe and stuff like that. And the other day, this guy sued because he was sitting in his car and a tornado pulled his Frosty out of his hand and his Wendy's hamburger and his fries, but he miraculously, made it. Him and the car was still there, so, Judge Judy didn't buy that. But you got credit cards, and the economy is in a bad state. And all jokes aside, we need to be on our knees praying for America and praying for the leaders. There's an election coming up, But this is just to laugh, because I know we're all carrying burdens on us.
Amen.
I know we've all carried financial burdens on us, so we're carrying them on us right now. But next time you get all them calls from them credit card offers and them wanting money for research, and they wanted me to sell my body to science. I don't know exactly why. Maybe they think something's wrong with my brain. I ain't really figured that out yet. But this is called If My Nose Was Running Money, I Could Pay My Bills. All right, I don't really play it. Here we go. Verse 1. Well, every morning I wake up and check the caller ID, and I find unknown numbers and foreign companies like Jamaica and Canada. Who do you know in Jamaica and Canada that's going to call you? And then most of the time they want some money, so I just say to them, if my nose was running money, I could pay my bills. If my nose was running money, I could pay, there you go, I could pay my bills. And I include everyone in my will. Yes, I would. If my nose was running money, I wouldn't have to worry about a dime. I'd be able to pay all my bills on time.
Yes.
Second verse, here we go. My nose was running money. What a great thing it would be. Every time I sneezed, I'd win the lottery. If my nose was running money, but it turns out it's not. It turns out it's just running plain old snot. Of course, one more time. I ain't going to Nashville anytime soon. If my nose was running money,
oh Lord,
I'd include everyone in my will, maybe. If my nose was running money, I wouldn't have to worry about a dime. I'd be able to pay everything on time. Woo! This is the end of it. Now hold on, put this in your pocket. Take this home with you now. Here we go. If my nose was running money and money grew on trees, this whole economy would be debt free.